All right, it should be back to business at the TSX. Let's get over to Mike Eppel with a look at that. Good morning to you.
Yeah, good morning, Melanie. A lot of frustrated traders and investors on Friday afternoon at anybody putting money or trying to take money out of the Toronto stock exchanges as the TSX had a trading malfunction, a hardware failure, according to the TMX Group, the operator of the Canadian financial market, on Friday, that shut things down 2.5 hours early. So they put out a statement over the weekend saying it'll be back up and running at 9:30 this morning, business as usual. That's what they're pledging. They say it was a hardware failure, but you have to wonder if they're going to be looking at some redundancies to make sure this doesn't happen again, because again, a lot of people on Friday afternoon who wanted to sell or buy stocks or derivatives or anything of that nature were quite frustrated with the Canadian markets. Canadian big banks raising mortgage rates, the TD being the most aggressive on this, raising the posted 5-year rate by 0.45% up to 5.59%. Now, analysts are saying that this is sort of a test in the market, maybe by the TD, to see who will follow. A couple of the other big banks raised rates slightly, not quite as aggressively. It might also be a way to get borrowers to lock in at much lower rates for mortgages. But again, borrowing costs going up. Today is tax filing day. You've got until midnight tonight to file what you file. First of all, your tax return with the Canada Revenue Agency, and if you have to pay more money to the government or have a tax bill outstanding, you got to get that in by midnight as well, or you will face some daily interest charges on that. You can pay it to the post office or online, even Canada Revenue Agency, or through the big banks. A lot of ways to pay your bills to the governments. A huge week on the earnings calendar. We've got Apple set to report quarterly results tomorrow. That's a big number for the tech space, because there's been all sorts of concern about whether or not smartphone sales are slowing, and whether or not as well the iPhone 10 with that massive price point has been as big of a seller as Apple was hoping for. And of course, Apple is the most valuable company, publicly traded company in the world. That's it from here. We'll send it over to Frank.